of beer and pours of wine are delivered to customers short, despite the fact that alcohol prices are up, along with everything else, due to inflation.
Well, if they're paying for a pint, they should get a pint.
Clive Watson is Chief Executive Officer of the City Pub Company.
I think some of it is obviously down to training. You've got to remember in pubs, a lot of staff come in and go out, so it's difficult to train people to pour that absolute exact pint. Think of a pint of Guinness. Everyone wants to see that white bit at the top. So I think the way around this is to have slightly larger glasses which we've had in the past, and then we'd have a mark which should be just a little bit down from the top. And then everyone, if there's a bit of froth at the top of the pint, at least customers will know they're getting a fair measure.
And the Trading Standards Institute that carried out the research says it is urging all hospitality businesses to redouble efforts to ensure that customers are getting what they pay for. They declined to name and shame businesses that they discovered shortchanging people, but perhaps are keeping that up their sleeve for a future date. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, Israeli tanks have continued launching raids into Rafah on Wednesday despite international condemnation over the weekend's deadly airstrikes in southern Gaza. The US has said that Israel's operations do not amount to the full-scale ground invasion it has warned against. The French president and German chancellor have said Ukraine should be allowed to use Western-supplied weapons to strike military targets inside Russia. And the Pope has made his first public appearance since apologising for using homophobic language. That's the latest feature story news. Simon Gaitan reporting.
Programming made possible by donations from the following.
New Health. If you're ready to make a real difference in the lives of others, then you're invited to dive into a rewarding career at New Health. They're searching for passionate individuals to join their diverse healthcare team. New Health offers medical, dental, behavioral health, and pharmacy services to meet the needs of our communities. They're searching for passionate individuals to join their diverse healthcare team. You can be a part of a supportive and collaborative team who share a passion for making a positive impact. More information on open positions and applications can be found at newhealth.org/careers. New Health, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978.
KCHW thanks New Health for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Fired Up Pizza. Fired Up Pizza, located at 206 East Main Avenue in downtown Chewelah, offers craft beverages and brick oven fired pizza, including a variety of sandwiches, salads, pasta, and homemade soups. Featuring weekly events such as bingo, karaoke, and live music. Fired Up Pizza also has space for your private event and offers both in-house and off-site catering services. Open daily at 11:30 a.m. for lunch and dinner. For more information, visit their Facebook page or contact Fired Up Pizza at 509-936-9121. Fired Up Pizza is a proud supporter of public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
It's Wednesday. Time for the Community Roundup.
All right now. Come on, boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah. Good morning, Sharon. It is our Wednesday morning show on KCHW 102.7. I'm Chuck Ritchie. I'm here with Sharon Ludwig. Later on today, we have a special guest, Kristina. Oh my goodness, I know it. Johnson Short. Thank you so much. I had it in my head, and I second guessed myself halfway through saying it. So good morning. How are you doing?
I am doing very well, thank you.
Outstanding, outstanding. Pardon me if my voice is cutting out. I was out doing some yard work over the weekend and spent 2 days in a cloud of pollen.
That'll do you.
It is allergy season, and haven't mowed the grass all summer, and man, it was bad.
Well, I don't think you mowed it last year either, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
A little secret we'll tell everybody.
And you know what? Well, I've been trying for years to grow clover in my yard and sort of get the clover to overtake everything. And last year it worked, and my yard never really got that tall because of the clover. This year, not so much. The grass, it got so tall by the end of last season, it never died over the winter.
Oh, yeah.
It just stayed green all winter long, and we had such a mild winter that when spring came up, there was nothing to start over again. It just popped right back up and kept growing. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, we've got parts of our property, like the alley, that we never planted to grass. We just started mowing it, and it's grass.
Yeah.
So you just mow it, and it'll be grass, and it'll look nice, but you'll have to mow it.
I know. I wish I could get my clover to take over, though. That stuff doesn't grow past about 3 or 4 inches tall. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the weather here. Speaking of pollen and seasonal stuff, today we're looking at a high of 60 degrees with some partially cloudy skies, maybe some thunderstorms in the afternoon. 37 degrees overnight with some clouds giving way to clear skies overnight. Looking like
nice.
Yeah, and then Thursday, mostly sunny skies, high of 66, low of 40 overnight. Friday, it's going to be a nice one for the Friday market. We're going to have 73 degrees for our high, mostly sunny skies, 49 degrees overnight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then clouds coming back for the weekend, 69 degrees for our high on Saturday, 47 degrees overnight, 66 and 51 on Sunday with some showers likely in the afternoon and the evening. Then Monday, more rain all day, 62 degrees and 42 for the low. Tuesday next week, the rain's going to stop, but partly cloudy skies, 66 and 46.
And you can kind of count on about 3 days out. The rest is a guess. I mean,
Right.
It's an educated guess because, they're looking at all the different maps and all the different flows of all the weather, but it's still a guess.
It does change. It does change.
Yep.
And I'm looking ahead. It looks like partly cloudy skies and high 70s, low 80s after Wednesday of next week.
Oh, nice.
So starting Thursday, which is great because Thursday is the art walk.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's gonna be a little cloudy for that, but good day to be out. And this first day of the arts walk convening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
So we're gonna talk a little bit more about that later.
We
but
are.
We've got
We are.
some special stuff planned for that. It's really gonna be really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a whirlwind, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So really quick before we get into stuff, though, we're going to take a quick look at the school breakfast and lunch menu. We have today, oh my goodness, is it the 29th already? It is.
It is.
We have a breakfast stick variety of cereal, fresh fruit juice, and your choice of milk with breakfast. And then for lunch, we have, this actually sounds pretty good, a rib BQ sandwich with baked beans, romaine salad, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, and sunflower seeds, and your choice of milk.
Do you suppose those ribs are boneless?
Yeah, I'm sure there's not a lot of rib to it. I think they're probably rib shaped.
Yeah.
Patties, sort of like the McDonald's one, the McRib that comes out that everyone gets all excited about. I used to love those as a kid. Now I bite into one and I'm like, well, yeah.
Tastes do change as you age.
Yeah, they do. It's somehow when you get older, you actually start appreciating food.
Yeah.
Than whatever that stuff is.
Broccoli and things like that. Things that are really good.
I've always loved broccoli. I was that weird kid as a child that loved my broccoli, but my parents hated broccoli, so we never had it in the house. And I'd go to a friend's house, and they would have broccoli, and I would eat up all the broccoli.
Ah.
Yep. I'd have my trees. Yep. So let's go ahead. Do you want to move on to some bits and breaks here really quick before we get the things started and get our show going? I'll go ahead and head over here really quick here. So what do you remember? What was your first car, Sharon? This is
1955 Ford, and this was in, 55, and it was in 1966, so 67 maybe. So it was a 10-year-old car.
Yeah.
And my uncle gave it to me because I lived with them when I went to college. And he said, you shouldn't be a college student without a car. Well,
Right.
It was the kind of car that it used more oil than it used gas. You put oil in it every time you went anywhere. It also, the driver's seat, if you didn't have this bar propped just right, the back seat would fall into the back seat. You know, you'd go, you know. So, yeah. And the dash was spray painted. It was a great car for a first car.
Oh, I'll bet. Was it one of those? Was it a big boat looking thing?
No,
Was
not
it-
really.
No?
Not really. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think mine was. It was a 1984 Dodge Aries.
Oh.
Dodge Aries. They were a disposable car.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it lasted about 3 months.
Oh, so it really was disposable.
Oh yeah, that thing was absolute garbage. It actually, I was coming home from school one day, and it actually threw a rod through the engine, and it actually went through the hood and went out in the field.
Oh my goodness.
On the way home from school, yeah.
Nobody was hurt.
No, nobody was hurt. But
Okay.
man, it was like it scared the heck out of me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it all of a sudden started going bang, 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 bam, and it just like literally exploded out of the hood of my car. You see stuff like that on TV, you don't think that's real. You don't think that can actually happen.
Maybe that's why we haven't heard of that car in a long time.
Yeah, the Dodge Aries. Actually,
Yeah.
I still think to this day it's probably one of the heaviest. I think they made more of those cars than just about anything else. There was the Dodge Aries and the Plymouth Reliant were the same exact car.
Oh.
Done by the same
Yeah.
parent manufacturer.
They just would put different names on
Yeah.
them. They did that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that was the. Who was it? Pardon me, hay fever. Was that the Marcos family that made those? It was.
I have no clue.
I just remember something about Imelda Marcos and her shoes and those K cars.
Huh.
Something about them mass producing them over there. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So tell us about how long we should wait to return to Guys Night Out.
Okay, so it says a new dad asked on social media how long he should wait before rejoining his buddies on Guys Night Out. Okay, so this is what he wrote. My wife just gave birth to our first child, and I'm over the top excited to be a dad. Our little girl has been home for about 2 weeks, and last night I suggested that I would probably be resuming my weekly Guys Night Out gathering with my friends at a local pub. She seemed open to it, but asked a lot of questions, such as, would I be drinking as much as I usually do? I normally take an Uber to the pub and back, and she wanted to know if I would be home earlier than I was in our pre-baby days. I was usually home by 1 a.m. She also wanted to know if I'd be flexible in case she needed my help. Like, could I delay going out if she needs help with our baby? I told her I hadn't planned to change anything about my Wednesday nights out with the boys, but this didn't sit well with her. So, tell me, am I being a jerk? Is it too soon to jump back into my weekly Guys Night Out? Do I really need to have a curfew? That baby's only 2 weeks old, and that mama is still recovering. Whether
2 weeks.
she had surgery or whatever, she's still hurting, she's still recovering, and her hormones are still wacko.
Oh yeah, I would say yes. That is way too soon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think mine are 17, and
don't go out to guys' night.
I'm still waiting to resume my guys' night. I don't know any of those guys anymore.
Oh, that's so funny.
So there's that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks definitely too soon. I would.
That's what I would think.
That's still in the. I don't. Because we had twins. I would imagine it's just the same with the single baby. That first 90 days, you have no idea what the heck's going on.
Exactly.
You lose track of time. You don't know. You don't get sleep. You just lose work. What is work? You go home and you go to work in the morning and you come home and you don't remember what happened in the day. Wow.
Yeah.
I think I lived on Red Bull and adrenaline those first 3 months.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. So the next one here, how often do you shower? So this person said they're a 2 shower a day person. I tend to do one a day or one every couple of days, maybe, depending. If I didn't do anything strenuous, I might skip a day or two here. Especially if it's a weekend and I'm not doing anything. Screw that. So this person says I take one first thing in the morning and take one later in the day, usually after dinner. I feel better being clean as I head for bed, but apparently not everyone agrees. And this was a wife on Reddit. Said, for those who work physical jobs that make you sweat and dirty, do you take a shower before you go to bed? My husband refuses. He works as a mechanic and will not shower before bed. That's really taking a toll on her, and she will never understand how a person can go to bed dirty. And no, he won't take 2 showers a day.
But if he would take one at night...
Yeah, just take one at night.
Maybe he wouldn't need one in the morning.
Yeah.
What do you do at night? Well, that's an obvious question besides sleeping, but,
Yeah. Ooh. So, take the shower at night.
Right.
You're a mechanic anyway. It's not who you're trying to be clean for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I was thinking 2 showers a day seems a bit excessive, but I guess if you're in a position like that, maybe you need that shower in the morning to wake you up. Maybe.
But some of the answers were quite interesting. Yeah, one commenter said, if he initiates intimacy upon arriving in bed, tell him he needs to clean up first.
Oh. Yeah, someone else said to get a separate bed, and that'll get him to respond.
Yeah.
Who put 2 twin-size beds in the bedroom.
And another one said, I find your husband disgusting.
Oh, man. Yeah, I just can't think of what that would do to the bedding and the sheets and everything. If you're a mechanic and you go to bed all greasy and dirty.
Well, you'd end up having to change your sheets so often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you'd want to change them every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take your shower at night, bud.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the morning. Do it at night. How about that? So who started that one? I did that. Take us to weird family things.
Yeah. So Kirk Merrill is saying that we're sounding great in Buckley. We love to have him listening to us.
Thank you, Kirk.
Yep. And Gino Ludwig is watching us. Thank you, Gino.
Nice. So is Stephanie Gear. Nice. Where exactly, what part of Washington is Buckley? I've heard of it. I don't know if I've ever
Isn't
been
that
there.
the one that we talked about a couple weeks ago that was over on the coast somewhere? And because Kurt answered us and told us where it was.
Okay. Probably he did. I remember something about it, but I remember talking about it before.
Uh-huh.
So these weird family things are. Do you want to take this one away?
Oh yeah, it says. So what's the weirdest thing your family does that you always thought was normal? So while we're talking about this, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It says a friend's family eats corn on the cob for dessert. That does sound a little weird.
Actually, it kind of sounds delicious to me.
Yeah.
I love corn, especially a nice sweet corn. I bet you could do something with it, like put cream and cinnamon and sugar on it. I bet you that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, popcorn was originally used as cereal.
Oh yes, I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
I've tried it. I don't recommend it.
Oh,
it's not as good as it sounds.
Put ice in milk. That's
not that weird, is it?
And no, especially if the milk was warm, you'd want it cold,
I mean, I didn't do it very often, but especially when I was a kid, I'd put ice in my chocolate milk if I wanted it, extra cold.
Yeah. In this family, they finished chicken to the bone. No meat, no gristle, nothing left. If you did not finish it, someone, usually my mom, would finish it for you. Ugh.
Wow.
That's kind of... Yeah. All right.
Well, I wonder, sometimes that's a cultural thing. I know my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, he's from Peru, and that's kind of the way they are, man. If you go over to their house for dinner and you don't finish every last nibble on that bone, you don't get another one until it's done.
Oh wow.
And I'm talking fat, gristle, everything. You gotta eat it all, and it's just kind of cultural in their family, I guess.
Yeah. So. Well, and the last one says that these people always ate dinner super late, like 8 or 9. I've known people who eat late. You eat late.
I do. We usually don't eat dinner until 8, 9, sometimes 10.
Yeah.
And that's how we grew up. We didn't eat dinner until at least 8.
Yeah.
To me 8 to 10 is dinner time. Of course, again, culturally, I grew up in Alaska. And if you go to Alaska, you go to a restaurant at 8:30, you're going to be waiting for a table. If you go at 6 p.m., there's nobody in that restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah, the restaurants are empty. And ironically, that's the worst time to get service at a restaurant, when it's empty.
Oh, yeah.
Because nobody wants to be bothered. They're,
Yeah.
like, leave me alone. They're trying to get their stuff ready for dinner time,
Yeah.
which starts at 8.
Yes.
All right. So one of our local jewelers was in the station the other day, and he was recording. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This is a script, and I'm trying to read it. Basically, this is a story about a guy who was recording a commercial at a radio station, and he said he just sold another guy a backup present. Never heard of this before. It's pieces of jewelry that a guy buys and hides away to bring out in the event he forgets a birthday or anniversary.
Wow. I have never heard of that.
I don't either. A backup present. That's not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I mean, just in case, or even a Tuesday surprise,
Yeah.
I
Just because you want to.
don't know. My wife, usually if I got her a piece of jewelry or something, she would probably yell at me for spending money.
Yeah, that's not a really great present to me. Now, a power tool. Now, that'd be a great present for me.
Right? For my wife, it would be something, electronic, something computer related. She'd love that. Something office supplies. Ooh, a nice pack of pens. She would love a nice pack of pens. Oh, wow. So this is for anybody on social media. Has anybody ever heard of this? Do you guys ever do a backup present? We want to hear about it on our social media. Put it on our Facebook feed.
Okay, so my mother was a school teacher, and teachers only get paid once a month.
Right.
And she did have a drawer in her craft room that was a present drawer.
Ooh.
And she would buy things on sale, and then when she had birthdays or had things that we had to go to, we had presents.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's kind of a backup present. But that way, it wasn't waiting at the last minute.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to this birthday party. Well, look in the present drawer. And if it applied, then we'd have it. Yeah.
But you were talking about in the classroom.
No, she was a teacher, but this was in our home.
Okay, sorry.
Home, yeah.
Sorry, I was reading comments on Facebook.
Yeah. No, when we lived in Deer Park. Now, I was in college by then, and I had younger siblings still at home, but she started that habit of having the present drawer.
I did know somebody once that they put presents that they had received and didn't like. They kept them wrapped up in the closet, and they had mystery presents. And by the time they got back around to passing them back out, they had no idea what they were. They wrapped them back up and put them away, and they just had the mystery presents.
I wonder if they ever gave them back to the person that gave them to them.
I think they probably did. I think I actually remember hearing a story about
funny.
that. Yeah. Well, that's when they open it up and you say, "Gosh, I like this so much. I decided to get you one too."
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
All right. So let's. We got about 15 minutes left till the break. Do you want to go ahead and get into some local stuff here?
Sure.
Yeah, we have Kristina coming up on the second half of the show. So let's get this stuff.
Okay, so last week we talked about how we had our Cougar athletes were going to state, and I just wanted to report on some of those. So the tennis team placed third. No, the tennis team for their third consecutive championship. Okay, so we have the two sisters, Avi and Simi Sahota. They were face each other for first and second in the state.
Ooh.
So I'm not sure which one came home first and which one came home second, but how fun to have first and second in your home family.
That's amazing. I say us like it's one of our personal accomplishments.
Yeah, and I believe
that's amazing though.
Don't the Sahotas own the gas station on the way south of town?
The JMT? No,
yeah.
South.
Yeah.
Tyco.
Yeah.
Do they? Oh, I don't really
think
know.
So. And so you tell them congratulations.
That's incredible.
Yeah. The doubles team, Cora Grooms and Trinity Ross placed second in doubles in the state.
Wow.
So, we had 4 girls coming home with championships in state tennis.
That's awesome. Do they get to keep those trophies, or do they put them in a display case at the school?
I think that, this one looks like it's a display case one. What do you think?
Oh, are there pictures of the trophies?
Yeah.
Oh, that would look great in a display case.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So then we had Rin Parsons, who was placed 7th in the 400-meter dash in track and field. And now, I don't know how far 400 meters is, but she did it in 1 minute, 3.98 seconds. I think that's what that says. That's really fast, isn't it?
That is. That's incredible. And how long was it? 400 meters?
400 meters.
And say the time again?
It says 1:03.98. So I'm thinking that's 1 minute.
Yeah.
3.98 seconds.
It takes me that long to get from my bed in the morning to my bedroom door.
Yeah. And there's a picture of her, too. That's really cool.
That's amazing.
Yep. And then Walker Reiner placed 8th in the discus, and he PR'd. Now, PR means you did your personal record. Okay. Yeah. So you met or exceeded your personal record. So that's pretty neat that he did that at state, and he was 8th place.
That's fantastic. Do you know what year is he? Is he a junior, senior?
I do not know what year these kids are. That's a good thing. I should ask Gino when I was pulling this up last night.
That's okay.
But, and I don't see anybody making any comments on. Ben Thomason placed 3rd in the 300-meter IH. So is that hurdles? Maybe? I know he went in hurdles. He went in 2 different things, and hurdles was one of them.
Let's call it hurdles.
Okay. And that's 300 meters, and it's 41.73. So I'm assuming that's seconds. That's amazing.
That is incredible, especially if you're jumping over hurdles.
Yeah. Wow.
You see me jump over a hurdle, I'd fall flat on my face.
Yeah. Well, I have a great story. We had to jump hurdles in PE when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And there was a little screw that was out. And as I went over one of the hurdles, it went through and tore my... At that time, you had to wear red gym shorts and a white blouse, and it tore my shorts, my underwear, and my skin. And I was bleeding going into the... Yeah, I think they fixed that.
I was one of those kids when we had to do that in PE. I would kind of stop before it and slowly climb over it.
You were one of those.
I'd do the belly roll over the top of it and then have to get going again. Sometimes I'd do the belly roll and then fall down on the other side.
Uh-huh. That's pretty funny. Okay, so let's get into what we're having locally. And I thought, it's near the end of the school season. We're running out of things. We're not running out of things. Chihuahua does not run out of things to do.
Never. It's a never-ending story.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. Yeah. So today, of course, is our golf course soft pickleball. Up at the golf course, and that's for 18 and over, and it's especially good for beginners from 9 to 11:30 a.m. this morning. This evening, we at Fired Up Pizza, we have bingo.
Oh, Tech Help is at the library from 3 to 4?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
I like that you have things I don't have. That's great. And tonight at Fired Up Pizza, also at the same time as that bingo's going on, or a little later, the Chihuahua Disc Golfers Cooperative's first meeting at 6:30.
Oh yes, thank you. I was gonna mention that. I forgot to get it in the announcements for the week, but I will get that in my announcements later today.
Yeah, so that's today. So that's, and I know that my daughter and granddaughter went and played the disc golf course over the weekend, and it had been mowed. Thank you. To Bellevue's. Yep. And she said it was a good course. Yeah. Okay, tomorrow, Thursday, May 30th, line dancing at the Chihuahua Senior Center and Craig Meyer karaoke at the Oasis from 8:30 to 11 p.m.
Oh, and don't forget the food bank is open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow.
That's right. So, and so you can stay after the food bank and go dancing at the Chihuahua Center at 2:30.
That's right.
Line dancing. And that's for everybody, I believe.
It is. I haven't been in there for that, but I have, partaken in their line dancing classes before, and it is a ton of fun.
Oh,
it really is.
Yeah. Okay, Friday, May 31st. Now, I keep telling you it's Chamber of Commerce, but it's a 5th Friday, and they don't have Chamber of Commerce on a 5th Friday.
Oh.
So it's a sleep-in day for those who go to Chamber. No, it isn't. It's just get to work early day. That's what it is. Adult pickleball up at the golf course from 9 to 11:30, and the farmers market. Yes, and it's going great. It's a full house every time.
Last week there were 38 vendors.
Wow.
I don't know if they've ever had that many vendors at the market before. It was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And people slow down. People stop who are just going through town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a great place.
It really is. And KCHW will be there this Friday. We had to miss out last week because I had to be out of town. But this week we'll be there. We tracked down our tent. I've been doing it with just a table so far this year, and it's
So you're going to look official?
We'll look official, and I won't have to hide out in the back where there's shade.
Oh, good for you.
There's that.
Yeah. So then we go to Saturday, June 1st. We're having at Fireburgers for Zach from 3 to 8 p.m. at Quartzsite Brewery. It's an auction and a raffle. It's a fundraiser for Zach. And you know what? I forgot the flyer, and I don't have his last name. Do you?
I do somewhere.
Okay, because I know that he works for the city, and he has cancer, and we are... Chihuahua is so good at helping people who are in need, and this is a really neat. He's a younger man and has a young family. So,
Zach House. He's been he's been battling cancer. He's a young man. Works for the city. He's a volunteer firefighter. My understanding, I don't know the guy personally, but I've heard wonderful things about him.
Yeah.
And it's awesome to see the community rallying around him. So Quartzsite Brewery from 3 to 8 p.m. on Saturday.
Well, and it used to be you could only get your Fireburgers once a year, like at Chautauqua. Well, this is another time. Go get a Fireburger. Yeah.
I will make it a plan. And we've got a group of folks meeting to clean up the theater in the park. We're going to be cleaning up the back room.
That's right.
Installing that new sound system.
Oh yeah.
Through a grant through the Creative District, working together with the theater and the radio station to train folks and keep it maintained and use it.
Yes.
And that'd be a great thing if volunteers wanted to come help us get that cleaned up. And we're also getting it ready for the summer, so it can start being used more. There's going to be some folks from the Shakespeare play later on coming.
Yeah.
They're going to be using it, and we're going to get that concession stand back there cleaned up too to use.
Oh yeah, and that's there were a couple of somebodies who were camping out in the back there, and
that's what I heard.
Yeah, it was quite a mess, and I helped clean up one time. I don't know if it's still a mess. But
I think it's just hasn't been used in a number of years. And it's just a little dirty. It needs to be cleaning up. But what a great thing to do after that is to go get
buy
some
a Fireburger. That's right.
I love it.
That's right. Now, if you thought baseball was over, and it's not. We have Summer League, American Legion baseball, and we have 3 teams out of Chihuahua.
Ooh.
An A team, a AA, and a AAA. And the AAA, of course, play the bigger kids. But on Saturday, the Chihuahua American Legion A team baseball team has a home game against Meade. And I'm not going to tell you when it is. I have a flyer on it, but I'd have to go through it. Just find one of those baseball players. Those kids play well.
Nice.
Also, on Saturday evening from 5 to 7, Fool's Paradise Band will be at the Chihuahua Golf and Country Club.
Okay.
And during the daytime, the Chihuahua cheerleaders are having a car wash at Quartzsite Brewery. So I really did want to talk about that one because it's kind of at the same time as, let's see.
Well, while you're looking that up, also Saturday morning is the Colville Valley Animal Sanctuary drive-through vaccination clinic. That's happening from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 501 Old Arden Highway in Colville.
Are you sure? Because I thought that was... All right, I probably am wrong.
That is Saturday, June 1st, right here on the poster.
Okay, so then we have 2 in June then. Because do we have one at the end of June?
Yep, there's June 1st and June 29th.
Ha, that's where I got confused. I have no idea. This print is so small I can't tell what time that car wash is.
Do you want me to try to read it for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just says this Saturday, and it was posted 2 days ago.
Holy cow. I'm gonna need to turn my light on here.
Yeah.
Of course my batteries are dead.
Somebody who made the flyer forgot to include the time, but maybe you just drive by and you see kids washing cars. Does it say in the fine print?
No, that is at the Quartzsite Learning parking lot.
Oh,
Not the Quartzsite Brewery.
No one. Yeah, okay. That's good to know because I saw Quartzsite and I couldn't read that. But sure.
It doesn't have any times on there, but yeah, like you said.
So that would be by the old middle school.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's good.
Big difference between the two places.
Oh, yeah, that is a difference. Sunday, Fired Up Pizza, All Ages Blues Jam. Then we have the American Legion A baseball at Gonzaga Prep. The AA baseball is home against East Valley. So that's two different games.
So is that high school baseball?
Uh-huh.
I thought their season was over with.
This is Summer League, sponsored by the American Legion and Summer League. In fact, one of our Summer League teams, the AAA, we have got a student from Northport or somewhere, who comes to practice and plays with our kids. Because they don't have a team up there to support.
Right.
And so he comes down. Monday is adult pickleball, unless you have anything else. June 3rd.
Actually, I'm gonna back up again to Saturday again because there's more stuff happening on Saturday.
Okay.
It is the Fun in the Sun Fair.
Yes.
That's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Chihuahua City Park. There's going to be a bouncy house, water slide, hot dogs, slushies, bloomin' onions, funnel cake, cotton candy, and much more.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow. And those are like a monthly activity, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how fun. Yeah. Okay, then Tuesday, June 4th, we have AA baseball at Lewis and Clark, and we have AAA baseball home against Gonzaga Prep. So we have 3 levels of kids, A, AA, or AA, and AAA baseball playing this summer. So if you're a baseball fan, there's baseball for 2 months this summer. And next Thursday is the First Thursday Art Walk, and it's kind of an exciting thing. It's, how do you say,
plein air.
Plein air.
Plein air, yeah.
Okay.
And that is outdoor painting. That is.
I know.
Yeah, it's sort of a spontaneous. You paint what you see. You pick a spot. You paint it right there on site on the spot.
Oh yeah.
I was talking with Tim. He had, I think 24 artists participate.
And they had some of them on Facebook. They had where they were painting and what their painting looked like, and it was just so fun.
They're amazing. I've seen some of the artwork to come out of there.
Yeah.
There's more than he can fit in his gallery. There's going to be overflow at the Aaron Huff Memorial Center.
Yeah, there's a really fun picture here of some of the things.
Oh yeah, let me see that.
Yeah.
Here, we'll get that. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There we go. Some amazing art. We have some amazing artists here in town.
Yeah, we can see it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that show is at Trails End, but there's going to be overflow at the Spotlight Gallery in the Huff Cultural Center, and
that is correct.
A artist will be at the Westoff Excavation, and an artist at Quartzsite Brewery, and a quilt show at the McCunn Gallery.
Very cool. Yeah, I was actually there. They have the quilts up already, I believe, at the McCunn Gallery.
Oh, really?
They had some quilts. I was there the other day, and they had some beautiful quilts up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if those were some of the same ones that were at the quilt show this last weekend, because that was fabulous, too.
Oh, I know. I'm so sad I missed the quilt show. I was busy giving myself hay fever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting down your grass you haven't cut for 2 years. Oh, jab.
It was a nightmare. Nightmare.
Also, so next Thursday would be the convening. So tell us about that.
Okay, so the Arts Walk Convening, that is a 3-day event that happens the 6th, 7th, and 8th. There's going to be a variety of breakout sessions. There's going to be speeches, talks, learning sessions. We're having, I believe on Friday. No, I believe on Saturday, there's a panel with local businesses to talk about how the Creative District has affected their business, their decision-making, that sort of thing.
So what if I've never heard of a convening? What does this mean? Who's coming? Who's putting it on?
So this is through ArtsWA, and this is...
Arts Washington.
Arts Washington, yeah,
Okay.
which is the state art organization. They are actually the organization that started the Creative District program.
Oh.
I believe we're going to have representatives from 18 different creative districts around the state.
Oh, how fun.
I think there are 24. There's some of them who aren't sending anybody this year.
Yeah, yeah.
We're kind of off in the corner up here. A lot of people don't think it's too far to travel.
Oh, yeah. But you traveled last year.
Oh, yeah. Last year it was in Port Townsend.
Yeah, so you went all the way across the state.
We did. We did. But maybe we're more adventurous. No, there's really looking forward to it. There's going to be one of the things I'm looking forward to. There's going to be representatives from Washington Filmworks. There's going to be representatives from Inspire Washington. All kinds of different groups here. And this is not a, just to clarify, this is not a public event. This isn't open to the public. People that had to register ahead of time, and they're pretty much for the representatives of the different creative districts around the state. But they will be here visiting our businesses. They'll be here going around town. There's a scavenger hunt. You'll see people together in groups going around learning about Chewelah and learning about the different things that have happened in our history.
Well, and we at the Center for the Arts are proud that they picked our building to
Pardon me.
Be kind of jumping off from their center, although they're going to be at other tours. I mean, other places too, like the radio station is hosting some things. But there are some public things. You said it's not for the public, but there is.
There are a couple public events, yeah.
Yeah, on June 6th, which is Thursday, along with the Art Walk, there's an event in the Chewelah Park.
Exactly. And this will be the music. There's actually going to be music starting. It'll be the first music ever on our new sound system on the stage in the park.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. The music's going to start around 7:30. We're trying to time it so it doesn't interfere too much with the Art Walk.
Uh-huh.
But music's going to start around 7:30. There's going to be pizza or not pizza, but tacos and beer from Fired Up Pizza available there in the park. And there is going to be a band. I believe the band is Voodoo
Church of Blues.
Yeah, Voodoo Church of Blues, which is a band from Spokane, featuring Forrest Goverdare, who's a phenomenal musician.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to be unveiling one of David Goverdare's most well-known art pieces that's going to be living in our park for at least the next year.
Well, nice. And so
it's going to be. I'm really excited. A lot of work's gone into this. A lot of back and forth, trying to get this horse in the park, and it's happening. And I think it's not only is it a nod to our local artists to show that they are appreciated, it's a way to sort of remember one of our most beloved, well-known artists from Chewelah.
Yeah. Well, and it's exciting to see how the First Thursday Art Walk has spread through town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tim started it years ago, and he persevered. And some of us, or some may have thought it was kind of a weird thing to do in Chewelah.
No.
But
I've always thought it was great. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And even when he was in that little studio, it was so fun to go in there, and it was so tight when he was down on 395. But it has expanded to different places having things on the same time. And last month we did something at our building, and we timed it so that people could go to the Arts Walk and then come to our authors talk. And the same thing you've done, timed it so they could go down and see all the art, and then they could go to the park. So we've just got things happening on these First Thursdays. It's so exciting.
Oh yeah. I'm really excited, and I'm really, really excited not only for the horse but for this new sound system to be debuted.
Yeah.
And it's all going to happen while the creative districts are here for the convening.
Isn't that fun? Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah. So, and then just some upcoming things that I want people to be aware of. Ray and Dave DeVoe are putting on a classic country tunes for charity, and it's a benefit concert for the Chewelah Center for the Arts. It's going to be held at the Chewelah Center for the Arts on Saturday, June 22nd. We've gotten a couple of grants, and we're working on trying to make our parking lot into a parking lot.
Yes.
And so that everybody can use it. It'll be a public parking lot. So when they're having events downtown or at the Indian Agency, or even over at the
park.
At the park or at the baseball field, there will be an overflow parking lot there so that people can park and walk.
Is it It's not open for parking currently. You can't. Can't park
yeah. When we had Sherry's memorial last weekend, people parked all over it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So,
yeah. Unless it's raining, you're not going to get stuck. It's just hard packed dirt. Yeah.
But no 4x and no mud bogging in there.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. And then also coming up is the junior golf camp, and it's ages 6 to 15, and that comes up June 24th to 27th. But they are now taking reservations. So if you've got a youngster who would like to take the golf camp, you can contact the golf course. And let's see, here it is, junior golf camp. Ages 6 to 15, June 24th to 27th, and it's 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. daily. It's $65 at the golf course, and registration is going right on now. They have a barbecue on Thursday. They will have prizes. And registration is limited to the first 70 kids that sign up. So you can call the pro shop. You can go online to the Chula Golf Course, and you can sign your 6 to 15-year-old to golf camp. And if they're the least bit interested, golf is one of those sports that's a lifetime sport. You know, golf and tennis are two of the ones. You don't normally throw the discus after you're out of high school.
No, or shot put or jump over hurdles.
No, you don't normally jump over hurdles.
There's enough hurdles in life to get over at that age.
Yeah.
You don't need the literal ones.
Yeah. So those two things are coming up.
I will say, so Josh Olson up there at the golf course, I've known him for years. He's a wonderful guy. This golf camp that he does, when you hear him talk about, he is so passionate about getting these kids involved.
Yeah,
and teaching them this stuff. I'm not even a golfer, but it's inspiring to hear him talk about how passionate he is about getting kids involved. So
yeah, and
it's
then
a cool thing.
The last thing is that Saturday, June 29th, the Yale Press is having a concert.
Oh.
And so, I looked all over for a flyer, and they have one up on our bulletin board outside the Center for the Arts, and they have some around town, but I couldn't find one online, and I will get that information so that we have the band and everything. Oh. And it's very limited seating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you'll want to get your tickets.
We also have a concert here on June 14th. Kevin Doran.
So we've got 3 concerts in different places, in different venues in June.
Yeah, and that's June 14th. That's Friday night, June 14th. He's going to join us here on the morning show that morning, and then he's going to do a show later in the evening. Kevin Doran is the first person to ever perform in this theater here in the radio
That's
station.
right. You said that last week, and he's coming back to the area.
He is. I'm hoping to get those tickets out today. At least online. I think we might just do online and at the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time when we were starting to look at a theater, and there were people, the naysayers, that say, what do we need another venue for? We already have the Civic Center. And I said, we're going to be so busy someday that we need to have several, not just one place to have activities. We're going to need lots of activity places. And we're getting to that point.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And just last night, actually, I was having a conversation. I don't want to give away too many spoilers because nothing's confirmed yet, but I do have another a band that's they've been touring since the late 90s. They're coming up this way. They're starting a tour. They're starting in Alaska and then coming down through Oregon and coming up this way. And they might stop by in September and visit us on the morning show and play a show.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's a very cool. Been a successful band for quite a few decades now, I guess. A couple decades at least.
Yeah.
And actually one of my personal childhood friends.
Oh, have fun.
Coming up this way, yeah.
Little connection there.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But you know what, Sharon? Do you have anything else?
I do not. I see our guest is in there.
She is. She's over there waiting patiently in the wings.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a break. We're going to thank our sponsors. And then we're going to be right back with our special guest, Kristina.
Yep. And she's watching, it says on Facebook.
All right. You're listening to KCHW 102.7. We will be right back.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, May the 29th, 2024. I'm Mike Clifford. At times Tuesday, it was difficult to tell whether former President Donald Trump or his former ally Michael Cohen was on trial. That's the take from NBC News. They report a largely stoic Trump nearly faded into the background as lawyers for the prosecution and defense laid out their summations. Jurors were treated to dueling portraits of Cohen, the star witness of the trial, and the relative significance of both his history of lies and the testimony provided in the case. The judge, Juan Merchan, kept the court in session until 7:57 Tuesday night in order to inch closer to the point at which Trump's fate is handed to the jury. That's expected to happen today. And groups fighting hunger in Indiana say they're deeply concerned about proposed cuts to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. Our Joey Lurie reports.
Republicans in Congress have advanced a long-anticipated farm bill through the U.S. House Agriculture Committee, despite Democratic opposition to the cuts it contains. Kierkreitz Mueller is president and CEO of Food Finders Food Bank in Lafayette. She says food insecurity is on the rise in Indiana and is already at its highest since 2014.
The Farm Bill plays a pivotal role in addressing food insecurity, yet policy changes proposed by the bill make harmful cuts to crucial federal nutrition programs that help millions of people access the food they need to thrive.
The $1.5 trillion legislation sets policy and funding for key food, agriculture, and conservation programs for the next 5 years.
SNAP benefits are based on the cost of budget-conscious groceries for a family of four, or what's known as the Thrifty Food Plan. It's not immediately clear when the Farm Bill will be brought before the full House for debate. And the New Hampshire Senate has advanced a series of bills which opponents say will roll back protections for LGBTQ plus people. We get the details from Catherine Carley.
The measures ban transgender girls from playing sports in middle and high school, ban transgender people from using bathrooms that align with their gender, and ban gender-affirming surgeries for patients under 18. Sarah Robinson, an organizer with Granite State Progress, calls the bills discriminatory and cruel.
LGBTQ plus people and those who know and love them are urging a swift veto to these mean-spirited bills that are based in misinformation. When we say live free or die, we mean everyone.
Supporters say the bills are needed to ensure safety and fairness in both sports and public spaces and protect young people from making decisions they may regret. Governor Chris Sununu has said he shares those concerns but has not indicated whether he'll sign the bills.
More than 200 businesses recently signed on to a letter to Governor Sununu warning him that bills targeting transgender youth are tarnishing the state's reputation. This is Public News Service. And a new World Wildlife Fund survey shows since 1970, more than 80% of the global populations of freshwater migratory fish have declined, and significantly.
The report calls development in its Living Planet Index distressing and faults habitat loss and degradation. It says factors like river fragmentation due to dams and agricultural encroachment account for half of the threats. The Shell team monitors freshwater species for the World Wildlife Fund and says though the trend is heading downward, there are efforts underway to save these species.
On average, we've seen freshwater migratory fish populations in North America decline by 34% since 1970. This is a little bit lower within what we're seeing globally, but it's still not a good number.
The index follows more than 1,800 populations of 284 native migratory freshwater fish species from around the world. The team says these fish often make the difference in food security and nutrition for vulnerable communities, while supporting the livelihoods of millions of local and recreational fishing industries and global trade. Mark Richardson reporting.
And with the Port of Baltimore nearing a return to full commercial operations, advocates are renewing their call for an executive order to address maritime shipping emissions.
Last year, 45 environmental groups sent a letter calling on the Biden administration to decarbonize the maritime shipping sector. Included among their recommendations was eliminating in-port ship emissions by 2030, with one approach to connect ships to shore power while docked. Antonio Santos with the nonprofit Pacific Environment says reducing emissions is not just about climate change.
As you're reducing emissions, you're also protecting those directly impacted. And when we talk about where these ships tend to congregate, it is port workers and those frontline communities, those port adjacent communities that are directly affected.
Brett Pivito reporting.
Finally, Eric Tegenoff lets us know workers at an Oregon hospital are celebrating their recent vote in favor of unionizing.
More than 260 Legacy Mount Hood healthcare workers voted to join SEIU Local 49. The union represents other Legacy healthcare workers in the Portland area, including at Emmanuel, Randall Children's, and Good Samaritan hospitals. Kathy Mitchell is a certified health technician at Legacy Mount Hood.
We wanted to form a union, stand up for our fair pay and respect. And not only that, my idea is I'm going to retire in 5 years, and I want this for future generations and future employees.
Next, the union will determine its priorities for bargaining and begin negotiations on this first contract. SEIU Local 49 represents about 15,000 workers in Oregon and Southwest Washington. This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Hear us on interesting radio stations on your favorite podcast platform. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
It's 8:20.
Programming on KCHW is made possible in part by listeners like you and by
Country Chevrolet. Country Chevrolet, located at 880 South Main Street in Colville, is a full-service Chevrolet dealership, offering a wide range of new and pre-owned vehicles with at-home mobile test drive service available. In addition, Country Chevrolet also offers maintenance and service, vehicle rentals, and full auto detailing. More information is available at countrychevy.com or by calling 509-684-8400. KCHW would like to thank Country Chevrolet for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
Ready for it, Sharon?
Yeah. Facebook isn't showing us yet.
All right now. Come on, boy. Yeah.
Makes me want to saddle up. And I haven't ridden a horse in a lot of years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back to the Wednesday morning roundup right here on KCHW 102.7. We are here with myself, Chuck Ritchie, Sharon Ludwig, and our special guest, Kristina. Is it Christine or Kristina? I apologize.
It's Kristina.
Kristina Johnson Short.
We don't have pictures of us.
Oh, we don't have pictures of us. I got to switch over. My apologies for that. Thank you, Sharon. If you're watching on Facebook, there we go. There she is. Welcome. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. I'm excited to be here.
All right. If I could get you to get just a little closer to that microphone, you can pull it up a little closer to your face there. There we go. Got to make adjustments here. All right. So tell us what brings you here. What's so you're competing in pageants?
Yes, I am doing at the American Super Classic right now, and it is a seatbelt safety awareness pageant. It's nationwide. Nationals are in 2 weeks, so I am promoting seatbelt safety, and that's what I'm here to talk about today.
Very cool. Very cool. So for those of us that don't really follow pageantry, that don't really know much about it, why don't you fill us a little bit in on the sort of the background? How'd you get into this?
Well, there's lots of different levels of pageantry.
Mm-hmm.
I only compete in pageants that promote community service because that's a passion of mine. I love to give back. So that's what's gotten me into the pageantry. I used to do modeling when I was younger. I took a huge break having kids and family, and I got back into it about 5 years ago doing domestic violence awareness pageants locally in Spokane.
Cool.
And then one of the girls I competed with in that system did some national ones, and so I started branching out, and it's opened me up a lot of different opportunities. I've met a lot of great individuals that have helped me build my platform, and then I've helped with other platforms. And that's what's gotten me into the pageant I'm doing now. Is I competed with the co-director of this pageant, and I have judged it a couple years with other titles that I've had, and then this year they've convinced me to actually compete.
Nice. So what is, so you're doing, this is a pageant for national seatbelt safety awareness?
Yes.
Tell us a little more about that. What?
So in 2 weeks at Nationals, we have women and young ladies coming from all over the nation competing. And it's just like a regular pageant, but it focuses on natural beauty and your ability to present. So, but we do have the same type of categories. We have fun fashion, we have interview, we have our formal wear. And it's a great opportunity. We do community service while we're there at the event. It's in Missoula, Montana this year. And so it's really, we have a lot of opportunities to discuss and have awareness on seatbelt safety while we're there as well. They do require different appearances as being representative, because they don't want you just coming for a crown and a sash. They want somebody who will actually go out and promote their cause. Our director, Janet, had lost a daughter due to her not wearing her seatbelt and being in a horrific car accident. So she developed this pageant system as a way to build confidence for females, as well as to get the message out, because if we can just save one family from having the heartache that she had, then this is all worth it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So how do you get to the position where you get to be in this competition? Did you have to win other ones, or did you just sign up? How does somebody get to be in a pageant?
For this particular pageant, you get an appointed title. So I'm Pacific Northwest Super Classic, and Super Classic is my age group. I'm old. So to get either a state title or regional, it is by appointed. You have to submit an application and meet some core requirements. And then when you go to nationals, it's a different level. Then you actually compete for the national, international titles at that point. So my title right now is an appointed title, but I will be competing for a larger title to be representing for a state or for a year.
Oh, great.
Wow.
So where are some of these taking you? You said you're going to be traveling.
This one is just taking, nationals is in Missoula, Montana in 2 weeks. So I do travel for other things. I participate in what's called Supermodels Unlimited, and I do runway and photo shoots with them. So I get traveling opportunities with that agency as well. But for this one, the nationals are in Montana.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So see, I know, because I remember back in the 80s, you know, as kids, we never wore our seatbelts. We were climbing in and out of the back, you know.
You never put a child in a car seat.
Oh, we had one of those. We had those Subaru hatchbacks. You know, we'd climb back and forth between the back and stretch out with the dogs. And I can remember going on road trips in a pickup truck, you know, with a canopy on the back and riding in the back with the dog. And we were lucky that we did not get in you know.
Oh yeah,
that's so dangerous now. I couldn't even imagine.
I did the same thing as a youth. I can remember it. As of last year, 2023, only 91.2% of Americans nationwide is reported to be wearing seatbelts. That's 1 in 10 that's still basically not wearing a seatbelt. And that's not counting those who don't wear it appropriately. If you don't have it across your shoulder, if you take the seatbelt and put it behind your back, you can still get a ticket. And right now the ticket for Washington's $124 per person in the car who's not appropriately wearing a seatbelt.
Wow.
Well, I know in my family, if we take off and sometimes just little trips to the store or something, I'll forget, or I won't think about it. And man, those kids in the car, they're like, "Dad, stop. Don't even leave the driveway until you have that seatbelt on." So
well, and most cars now won't let you because they do that ding, 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 ding. That's so annoying, and you wear your seatbelt just to protect yourself from that noise.
Just to shut it up. But
well, you also have to remember our newer cars have got the airbags, and the airbags are designed to work in conjunction with the seatbelts. So if you don't have your seatbelt on to hold you back and those airbags go off, they can actually kill you with that extra force because it has the force of the airbag plus the projection of yourself going into it.
Oh my!
So
I've seen cases where somebody gets hit from the side and their body is already twisting to the side, and then those airbags go off, and really does. We won't get into the details, but yeah, you know, you have to have the restraint with the airbags.
I did not realize that. That's a good thing to know. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that instant foam stuff, like in Demolition Man. You know, when you get in the accident and the whole car fills with foam instantly.
How do you breathe with foam?
Well, you know, it was science fiction, Sharon.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure
Just checking.
I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure there's a way.
Okay.
Maybe it's oxygenated foam or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if you're in a vehicle, if you're in a car, you have a 50% chance, greater chance of survival with a seatbelt. And if you have a truck, it goes up to 60% greater chance of survival with a seatbelt in a truck. So it's definitely worth not flipping a coin for that 50-50.
No.
Get that 50% extra and just buckle up.
And you don't drive out of your driveway planning on having an accident.
No.
That's why it's called accident, because it just happens. You know,
it's not discriminating either. It doesn't matter if you're going 2 miles or 100 miles. It can happen to anybody, unpredictable. And here we have those deers. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that deer is going to jump out in front of you. So be prepared.
Yep.
I don't know if we have any real wood near us. Well, there we go. That's made out of real wood. I'll knock on that for all of us. Wow. So, yeah, you know, it's just like you said. It's not worth the risk. You know, it's weird that this many years later, after seatbelt laws have been in place, that we're still having this conversation about, you know, you should wear your seatbelt because it should just be standard. You know, it feels weird to me to be in a car without it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I feel almost naked being, especially on the highway. There've been a couple times, you know, you get on the highway and you realize, oh no, I don't have my seatbelt on, and it's almost like a moment of panic, like
Well, it's like riding a bicycle without a helmet. I see people riding bicycles without helmets, and it makes me cringe because I won't ride mine without a helmet. Because what if, I mean, that's a little bit more real to me that you could fall and hit your head, you know, and there are lots of bike accidents. And so, yeah, it's the same thing. It's just common sense, you know, that you'd wear a helmet, that you'd wear a seatbelt, you know.
I just had to get myself a new helmet last year. My kids have grown big enough to where they outgrew their helmets, and lo and behold, mine fit them. So
so
they get a hand-me-down helmet. But yeah, definitely any kind of safety precautions, helmets. People on motorcycles wear your leather.
Yeah,
you know, that stuff. I have seen people that have gotten in motorcycle accidents wearing their leather, barely a scratch on them. You know, they're dinged and bruised, but you know.
Have you seen the new leathers?
No.
They have leathers now. I watched a video on it where when you hit, it expands. So like a miniature airbag in your leathers. So it really helps prevent additional injuries when you have a crash in a motorcycle.
That is incredible.
It is.
So that is almost like the car foam from Demolition Man, only in a suit. I love it.
Yeah. So how long did you say you've been doing pageants, Kristina?
I got back into the groove of it about 5 years ago. So I've been doing lots of community service. I've got enough hours now that I've got the Presidential Community Service Lifetime Award being submitted.
Wow.
Nice.
So yeah, I just really enjoy giving back to the community. I found having the crown and sash actually enhances that ability because it opens up doors that otherwise aren't. And then when I am in the community, it's a great eye catcher. And so I get people that ask about it or that will read my sash and go, you know, have that weird question. And my sash that I have now actually says buckle up. So it enters into the conversation. And then I do a lot of presentations at schools, and I have a little business card and a book I give out that talks about the different age groups for car seat safety because, you know, you have to wait your turn until you can get into the next level. And so I share that so the kids can take it home to mom because, you know, the kids just want out of those 3-point harnesses when they're 5. And it's like, you got to wait until you're 4'9", and then you can be in the booster and wanting to sit in the front seat. No, you got to wait till you're 13. So I have those hard conversations with these school-age kids, and they eat it up, though. And then they remember, because I went to the Y in Spokane twice now, and from the first time to the second time, the kids are just so smart and receptive, and they remember what I told them the first time, and then I just build upon that the second time and plant those seeds. And I had one little kid said, my mom never wears her seatbelt. And then I saw him yesterday. I told my mom to wear her seatbelt, and she is now.
Aw.
So it's just building
Nice.
those seeds and planting them in these youth, and I love it. It's so much fun.
Well, like I said, it's the kids that keep their parents in line.
Yes.
More.
Yes.
Sometimes, I mean, obviously, it's parents' job to get the kids to do this stuff, but you get the kids on it, and then the kids won't give you an inch.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're not going to make me. I'm not going to be doing this, and you're not doing it too. And they want you to be safe. So.
Yeah. So if someone's interested in doing this kind of thing, the competitions
Yeah.
and the pageants and stuff, how do they get started?
There are so many different places. Facebook is a great source, and there's a site on Facebook that says Washington Pageants, and you can look at that, and that can tell you some locals. It also depends on what you're interested in. I mean, there's pageants for people who want to do the glamour and glitz that are very competitive. There's the community service ones, like what I'm doing. If you're interested in seatbelt safety, American Super Pageant is the one I'm doing, and they do have a website, and you can sign on with them. They're a great one. There's another one. It used to be Country Elite, and they just changed their name, but they're community service based as well. They're back east. A lot of pageants, if they don't have a regional local, then you can sign up as a appointed title and then compete in nationals. I've had to do that in a couple. Washington doesn't have a lot of representation for some of the bigger nationwide pageants.
Right.
So Facebook is a great source if you want to look up pageantry. You can follow me on Facebook. I have some connections on my Facebook to other pageants as well. Or you can look at my pages that I like, and they're all there.
Yeah.
So that would be a great place to start.
So this might not be, does it cost to do this?
Yes, and everyone is different. And a lot of them will have opportunities where you can do things to get time off or costs off. They'll have an early special or early bird things. There's also opportunities. Some of them will do fundraising or get sponsors. And so that's another way. A lot of them are doing the drawings, or they'll have a calendar and they'll have certain dates, and you pick a number, and then it's like a 50-50 drawing. Half goes to pay for your national travels, half of it goes to whoever wins. So there are opportunities and ways that people get around paying. I've done sponsorship in the past to get to nationals at times. It also depends on how far away it is, and each pageant has its own set of costs. Some could be just a couple hundred, some could be a couple thousand if you get into some of the bigger ones that are a week long and have a lot of activities.
Well, I see you struggling with your headphones. You don't have to have those on if you don't. We're all in the same room here. So, and I know you have your crown on, your beautiful hair. So I'd hate to mess that up with our headphones.
So are there monetary prizes if you're in a pageant?
Some yes and some no. Some will have prize packages. It's not so much cash as a package of different items that you win. The pageant I'm in now, it does have a monetary option. They have a community service portion to it. If you do so many events in the community, you can get bonus points for the pageant itself. And if you do events above and beyond your bonus points, whoever has the most gets a $500 certificate.
Wow.
So there is a incentive, and then if you do get an international or national title, then you're required to do at least one community appearance every month, just to hold you accountable, because that's what this pageant is designed for. So everyone's a little bit different. Some of them, if you get a title and they want you to come back, they'll give you a percentage off. So each system is just different.
That's cool. So kind of in the same vein here. Sponsors, and maybe for anybody listening out here, are you guys allowed to solicit sponsorship to cover your travels and your fees, that sort of thing?
We can, yes.
Okay.
And a lot of the pageants will actually have a program book. So if you get your sponsors ahead of time, you can have them into the program book as well.
Oh, cool.
So that you can give them that acknowledgement. And I've done that in the past as well. This pageant, I have not sought sponsorship. My sister lives in Missoula, so my costs got highly lowered. I'm staying with my sister, no hotels.
That's nice.
So for me, this one's not going to cost a whole lot. It's very reasonable and affordable for me.
That's fantastic.
Besides doing such a good public service, how fun is this?
It's a blast. I mean, like I said, some of these girls I've made lifetime friendships with, and when they are doing an event, they'll invite me. There is a kind of Oscars for pageantry systems, if you would like to say, awards ceremony, and 2 of my friends were nominated for these nationwides. One got the award, the other one was nominated. So there was a group of us girls that went to the awards celebration. So it was a nice, fun road trip. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities. I would not have been in this pageant system or known about it if I hadn't competed in another one with the assistant director. So those connections are just wonderful. And getting out in the community, it's opened so many doors. I mean, I'll do one appearance I went to the library and did an appearance, a reading, and they liked it and they were so impressed. They're like, hey, we do this and this. Would you be interested in doing this? So it keeps opening the door of opportunities for me, and that's what I'm really enjoying.
Very cool. We have lots of stuff coming up where we need voice work done. You say you're do you mind talking about you're leaving the area?
Not for a while.
Not for a while. Okay.
It's going to be at least a year and a half. But eventually, as soon as we get our house done and the house we bought done, eventually I will be relocating to Florida. But not sure exact time frames at that point.
Okay. So we can hit you up for some voiceover stuff.
That would be fun.
So you said with the library, what were you reading? Stories? Or
I actually purchased a couple seatbelt safety books.
Okay.
And then I also downloaded a couple safety books online for reading for preschool type levels. And so I presented those, and then I created a workbook for them that has color sheets and word findings, and I have a cartoon that talks about Humpty Dumpty.
Nice.
Because they can relate to that. So it shows how Humpty Dumpty's in a car and he doesn't have a seatbelt and he goes splat. And then it shows him with the seatbelt and no splat. And so a lot of the kids, they really relate to that because they know the nursery rhyme and they like that he's safe now and he's not hurt.
Yep.
So I utilize that as well. And then on the back of my book is a seatbelt safety certificate for each one of them. So they have that to represent that they understand and that they agree to doing the seatbelt safety.
That is very cool. We have one of your fellow Christmas Carol alumni that we've been talking with about doing a live Saturday morning children's book reading. So maybe we might like to invite you along to do something along those lines.
Oh, I'd love to. There's a princess queen, a young girl. She does one for YouTube, and it's all these pageant queens that read different stories, and it's designed to help kids that are illiterate read, so that you show them the book and you read along with the princess. And I've done that a few times, and it's really rewarding.
That's nice. I love that.
Isn't it fun how we have so diverse talents? Oh, excuse me.
That's okay. I think my hay fever might be catching.
It's a good thing you finally took your meds.
Yeah.
I know, right? Oh, finally during the break. I can't believe I forgot to take my allergy pill this morning. I can barely talk on the air, and I haven't taken my allergy pill. So, anyway, so how many people are involved in this? Like, you travel with these groups, and are they pretty much the same people that you've traveled with before? I know you were talking about you make lifelong friends. Do you meet new people each time you go out? Is there a different circuit of people?
Every time you compete, there's new people.
Very cool.
And the pageant I'm doing now, there's a lot of returnees because the seatbelt safety is passionate. You know, they've had a personal connection with seatbelt safety one way or another. And so this pageant has a lot of returnees. And because of that, they have different levels. So they have an international, which is the person who gets the highest score. And then they have the age groups. And then if you return, they have other levels so that you can keep competing. And it's not just a one and done. And so that's kind of a great thing. So there are a bunch of the girls that are coming back that I have seen or have met before, but there's also a lot of new faces. And that's exciting as well, bringing them into the family and helping guide them along.
That's awesome. And do you have any kind of mentorship programs? Because you are with an older age group. Do you ever do any kind of mentoring with the younger age groups?
I personally do a little bit on site, but I don't have anything officially.
Okay.
A lot of my community service, my son's disabled and he's on the spectrum. So he does Special Olympics. I do a lot of volunteering with Special Olympics.
Very
and with the
cool.
Crown and Sash, I do a lot of their awards presentations at regional. And then I actually went to state this year to present awards. So I really enjoy that because Special Olympics has given so much to my son.
Yeah.
It's a blast. I mean, I've coached, I've chaperoned, I've done all of it for Special Olympics, and this has been an additional plus for me, being able to use my crown and sash to put the smiles on their faces.
That is cool.
That
that
is
really cool. You know, we have a not to shift the focus away from that. One of our local famous musicians, Alan Stone. I think one of the things that I saw that made me the proudest was a few years ago. He did the opening ceremony for the Special Olympics, and it was such a neat thing to see him out there in the audience singing with other people and getting everybody involved. It was really neat. That's a phenomenal program.
It's benefited my son. I'm beyond words. It's helped him a lot. So I'm very grateful for the program.
That's incredible. All right, so we got about 15 minutes left in the show. Did you want to stick around with us to the end of the show?
I can do that.
Do you have more you want to share?
I can share. We can talk. I'm good to go.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a little quick break here, and we are going to read off some local birthdays. Ooh. So we have today on our local birthday calendar, this comes from the Chewila Valley Lions Club calendar, we have Amy Nixon, Sammy Biancardi with birthdays. Oh, and then get this, Jared and Andrea Arnold have an anniversary today.
Ooh.
Happy birthday, too. I got to go over there later. I'm going to harass them. Or I won't harass them. I'll just tell them happy anniversary.
Well, a quick shout out to my granddaughter's birthday today. She's 6.
Wow.
So it's a great day to have a birthday.
Happy birthday. Can you say, no last names, but can you say her name?
Her name's Symphony.
Symphony. Oh, that's a gorgeous name.
Yes.
That is a gorgeous name. So then I want to go back to here. I know so I mentioned it briefly. You were in our Christmas Carol play.
Yes.
Do you have any plans to do any other theater work?
If it can fit into my schedule.
I know you wanted to be in the spring play, but it didn't happen. But that just didn't fit in your schedule.
It's hard. I work for the state, and I work part-time in Spokane and part-time in Colville. So it's really hard to get here every day of the week when I'm in Spokane, and I don't get off until 5:30.
Oh, yeah.
So the flexibility is what I struggle with. But the Christmas Carol was not my first production. I've been with PACA off and on for a long time. I think I've done 4 productions with PACA now. So
very cool.
With Park Avenue. Yeah.
Well, I know we do have, for as far as radio plays, we have another one coming up this Christmas. I was just talking with Catherine about that recently. I'm excited. We talked briefly about doing one like in June, but I can't even imagine having a play going on right now as well as everything else going on.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's been a crazy time. Everything's so busy right now.
I think the Christmas one really works well because it's a quieter time of the season and it's so cold outside. It's nice to do something inside.
It is.
When it's nice outside, you want to be outside.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to do another. The radio show was so much fun. I enjoyed it.
You know, that's nice because it's not quite as heavy of a lift either because you get to use your script the whole way through.
And the older I get, the more my memory kind of fades on that whole memorization piece.
Oh, I'm terrible with that. I had a moment. You ever have those dreams where I know because I did a lot of theater as a kid. You ever have dreams where all of a sudden you're on stage, and you're just on a stage, and they're like, "Go," and you have no idea why what you're doing up there?
Can't say I've had that particular dream, but I've had dreams.
I have those all the time, and I actually had a moment recently where we were shooting a film. That actually happened to me in real life. They were like, it was first day of filming. They say, "Okay, Chuck, stand over here and action." And I'm like, I have no idea what's happening right now. I didn't memorize my lines. I had no idea what they described the scene slightly. I had no idea. I didn't remember even what scene it was because we'd never in film. You don't block it out. You don't rehearse. You don't do the stuff that you do in plays. You just kind of go run through your lines a couple of times and roll the cameras. And this was. I had no idea what we were doing. They're like the sneaking scene. I'm like, I have no idea I have no idea what you're talking about. So,
were you able to at least improvise a little bit?
No, we got it. We stopped and kind of ran over the lines a little bit, and then I figured out where I was, and then I was good. But yeah, it was one of those crazy things. All right, so let's Sharon, let's go ahead and move on back over to our bits and breaks. We're gonna run through some celebrity birthdays today.
Okay.
Do you want to Are you with us on that? Do you want me to take them? Do you want me to get started on those?
There as soon as I get up here. Sure. Now you're going to help me with some of the pronunciations of some of these. Anthony Geary from General Hospital is 77. Composer Danny Elfman from
Oingo Boingo.
I don't know what that is. Am I dumb?
And isn't that's the same Danny Elfman who's done sound for like pretty much every movie made since the 80s? I believe.
The man is 71.
Yeah.
LaToya Jackson is 68. Ted Levine from Big Sky, Monk, The Silence of the Lambs is 67. Annette Bening from The Kids Are All Right and American Beauty. And didn't she do one that she played the president's girlfriend? Anyway, I love that show. Anyway, she's 65.
My uncle has some stories about her from I guess he was a friend of a friend, and my grandmother was obsessed with her when she was young and would always like want to go with her and hang out, and he would go hang out at their house. Her husband, she was married to a friend of his, friend of my uncle's, and she would like tag along just so she could stand outside the house and be Annette Bening, I love you. Yeah.
Rupert Everett from My Best Friend's Wedding is 65. Lisa Welchel.
That sounds right.
The Facts of Life and Survivor Philippines is 61. We've got a lot of 60-year-old people here.
Right? Who? I wonder who she was in Facts of Life.
I don't know.
Oh, that was I recognize her, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay.
I'm not seeing her character name.
Laverne Cox from Doubt, Orange is the New Black is 52. Melanie Brown from one of Scary Spice of the Spice Girls is 49. Mel B is most of us know her by.
Yep.
Riley Coe, would I say that? Coe?
Yeah.
Or is
sure.
it Keogh?
I think one of those is probably right.
Daisy Jones and the Six and the granddaughter of Elvis. You don't even need a last name for him, is 35.
Oh, wow. So can you read the screen where you are, Christine?
Yes, I
can.
can.
Do you want to take us in some history on that happened today?
Sure. In 1856, during a speech in Bloomington, Illinois, Abraham Lincoln said, "You can fool some of the people all the time and all of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time."
See, I'd heard that before, but I never knew it was Abraham Lincoln who said that.
I believe that was Bob Marley that said that.
In 1886, chemist John Pemberton placed his first advertisement for Coca-Cola. The ad appeared in the Atlanta Journal.
1886. Imagine that. To me, that's the old ages.
Wasn't that back when Coke actually had Coke in it?
I
believe
so.
I believe so. Yeah, it was definitely a picker-upper for sure. Wow. All right, go ahead.
In 1912, the Ladies' Home Journal fired 15 women employees for doing the turkey trot during their lunch hour.
In my mind,
scandalous.
I tried to think about what the turkey trot looked like, and I know I've heard of it, but what does it look like?
I have no idea.
Yeah. It must have been a dance of some kind. Well, and in 1912, that must have been scandalous.
Must have been.
Yeah.
I was going to look it up, but I'm not going to play that video online because there'll probably be music and ads to it. So
yeah,
we're going to skip that one. But yeah, interesting.
Then in 1919, Charles Strite patented the pop-up toaster, something we can all appreciate.
Absolutely.
Wow, yeah, because I would have thought it was later on. You know, I mean, 1919, that's a long time ago for a pop-up toaster.
At least we called it a toaster and not a Strite.
Yeah, okay.
Can you put some bread in the Strite for me?
Yeah,
No,
after
that
him,
wouldn't
because
work.
lots of times things that are patented are named after the inventor. That's
Well,
funny.
I mean, you know, there was John J. Crapper. I'm just saying.
Okay, okay.
I killed that conversation. All right, go ahead. Keep us going.
In 2001, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled disabled golfer Casey Martin could use a cart to participate in tournaments.
Whoa.
Well, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, but did they have to walk the whole time before that?
A lot of competitions, they do require you to walk for competition. They do that even for Special Olympics.
Oh,
Unless you
wow.
have a medical condition to have a cart, as a golfer, you're required to walk and carry your own carts to compete.
Wow. They don't have caddies? I thought they all had caddies with them.
Not for Special Olympics. If they have a partner, they can have a partner to help sight the ball and stuff, but they don't actually have their own caddies for Special Olympics.
Wow.
They can have a partner too if they do, where they will take turns at the tee. So one will tee off on the odds and one will tee off on the evens.
Okay.
So they have a unified partner. So sometimes they'll have that. But if they're just doing a solo and competing by themselves, then they don't have anybody with them.
Okay.
They just have somebody helps keep score, and that's it.
See, I
So a unified partner, that means somebody that's not Special Olympic. Is that right?
Typically, yes.
Okay.
Not always. There have been a couple cases if you have somebody who could compete as a Special Olympic athlete, but they're high functioning, and you have somebody who's less functioning, they could sometimes partner up, but typically it's somebody who is a non-athlete, Special Olympic athlete is partnered with a Special Olympic athlete.
Okay, because I remember that term when the kids at the high school would go to the bowling alley, and they would have unified partners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember I used to work at a bowling alley, and the Special Olympic nights were some of my favorite. Used to have one young man. He would come in. They did it on Sundays. The Special Olympics days were on Sundays, and then when they were done, he would come in. I worked in the bar, and it was very slow on Sundays. We never had anybody there, and he was my football buddy, and he would sit there all day and watch football games. And that kid was an encyclopedia of football knowledge. He had Down syndrome. But knew everything of every player about every stat about every player. That guy could go on and on and on for hours. It was amazing.
They may be weak in certain areas, but once they find a topic that interests them, they fix on it.
Yep.
For my son, it's military.
Okay.
He is just a military buff, and that's his interest. And now he plays all these online video games that are military, and he knows all the commands, he knows all the ships, and he knows all the tech. And it's like,
Very
why
cool.
can't you get a job? Oh yeah, you don't like public. But yeah, they can be very smart in certain areas.
Yeah.
It's great. I enjoy being around them.
I have a daughter on the spectrum too, and hers is art, drawing, and painting, or not painting, but mostly drawing, sketching, anime art, creating characters. She does a lot of digital art, digital drawing, digital character creating, and she actually has a YouTube channel where she gives instructions on how to do that. She has people that have commissioned her to create characters for their comic books.
That's great.
For their comics, and even she's gotten into designing actual costumes, and creating costumes in these big elaborate costumes made out of foam for people's characters.
Are you taking her to Comic-Con this weekend?
No, I'm not. If I had the money, I would love to, but we did go to a convention earlier this year in January, which was a lot of fun. It cost us a lot more money than we were expecting, but it was a lot of fun.
They always do.
Yeah,
those booths.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and finish us off here.
So in 2004, a memorial to America's World War II veterans was dedicated on the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
Oh.
In 2006, in Australia, Norman Parker went to a department store and found a sweater he liked. He took it into one of the changing rooms, removed the security tag, stuffed the sweater underneath his jacket, and headed to the door. He didn't make it outside, however, as the security alarm went off just as he reached the exit. How could this have happened? He removed the